Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Lego Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles Guardian Mech set. This is set number 76996. It has 276 pieces, and I paid $35 for this set. This is one of the new sets from the new wave of Sonic the Hedgehog sets since they've started doing these. And I already looked at the one with Shadow. It was like a Shadow on a bike, motorcycle escape or something like that. And I know these are some characters that people really wanted. So in this one we have Knuckles and Rouge. And I like mechs, and I've liked some of the Sonic stuff, and I'm really interested to see how these minifigures are produced and how they're done. And the mech look kind of interesting as well, so I decided to pick this up. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, while we look at the build for this Lego Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles Guardian Mech set, I just wanted to say thanks and remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. So we start out here with kind of this gemstone side buildy thing, and then kind of the glider flyer. We'll look at the minifigures closer, and then onto the next bag of pieces, we start working on the mech. And right before I built this one, I had built one of the newer Ninjago mechs, so I had mechs on the mind. We had the legs there; they're the same, and they used two of those kind of mech limb pieces. We add the feet, which I really appreciated how the feet were done here. And the last bag of pieces, we add the arms and add kind of the torso area where the character can reside, and we add a few other details here and there, and then that kind of completes this mech. So I go into it further. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the new Lego Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles Guardian Mech set. I really like this. I mean, I thought I was going to like it when I saw that it was announced. I wasn't sure about some aspects of it, and I'll get to those during the review, but overall, this is pretty great. So the first thing we'll take a look at is the minifigures, because you do get some, and it's one of the big draws for the set. I know the Shadow minifigure was quite good. I actually thought the Sonic minifigures are pretty good, and the Robotnik fig that came out was also kind of interesting instead of the brick-built one that sort of came with the Ideas set. So this is the Knuckles Guardian Mech set. So we have Knuckles here, and we can look at that, and this is really interesting. So when I reviewed the one set for Shadow's bike motorcycle thing, I mentioned, I think incorrectly, of Shadow being a sort of clone of Sonic, and that character isn't that, and I don't think this character is explicitly that either. They do have some characteristics that are similar, but we have the special head here, dual molded, really nice production value. So we have kind of the same kind of like spikes that Shadow and Sonic have, but these are a little flatter right now. And then we do have Knuckles like signature gloves, or like knuckles there for hands. Underneath that is just normal white minifigure hands. Not too much on the chest here, and the production value on this is okay. I think that should be whiter, but that's the case with a lot of these Sonic figures. They're little like chest stuff. Any printing that's done on there is usually light printing on a dark color torso, and this ends up looking a little bit pink. We do have dual molded legs here, although no printing on the side of the legs, which I think Sonic does have, but dual molded legs, and then we do have a little bit of printing on the legs and on the shoes there, which is nice. Looking at the back of the torso, not too much going on, but a little extra printing at the back there. I think this is a fine minifigure. I liked the Shadow one more, I think, but you know, this is really well done, and I'm glad they're doing minifigures for the Sonic stuff here. So you know, it's nice to get a different character here, and this is a pretty good rendition of this character. And then the other minifigure we get is Rogue. So this is really cool. So again, a different head here, which is unique to this character. Has kind of the big ears here, nice little smirk. Eyes are printed really nice. I think this is dual molded, at least the kind of tan part around the mouth and the nose, but I'm not positive there. And maybe, yeah, I think it's dual molded and then has, you know, a good amount of printing there, but that's very nice. Production work is pretty good. We have these excellent wings here that go around the minifigure torso neck, and I think that wing piece is very cool. We have the heart here printed on the torso, and kind of the impression of maybe hips and a waist area here. Very, very slight, but that's good to see. And I'm trying to look at the printing for the heart. You know, this is a black torso with printing there, so like the white at the very top is kind of suffer from the same issue as the Knuckles figure, where it's probably not as white as it should be. The pink for the heart is pretty good, so that's nice. And then nothing on the midsection. Knuckles didn't have anything there either. We do have dual molded legs with printing on the legs, so that's very good. Nothing on the side. Looking at the back, there's a little more going on back here, and we can kind of see there is a larger section of white printing kind of at the top there that should probably be closer to the arms and is not, unless, oh, you know what? Maybe that's not supposed to be white, because now that I'm seeing this, these arms are dual molded, and that was something I missed here. So we do have like the two-tone arms there, and I think it could be that the back here is supposed to match the top of the arms, and that could be true for the bit up by the neckline there. So yeah, that's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Either way, it's still a very cool minifigure. I think they did a pretty good job, and nice to get, you know, more characters from the Sonic series in Lego form. So that's very exciting. So those are the minifigures. We can get into the rest of the set. The first thing you build here is this kind of side buildy thing, and it has one of these big gem pieces that I've seen be used in some Disney sets and other sets. It's two pieces, and inside we have what I think they're called Kyber crystals in here. So there's a couple of those Lego kind of crystal pieces here, and they go in this bigger kind of satin translucent green piece here, so that's fine. Good to get that, and looks pretty good. And then this is just kind of a stand, a little holder for that. I don't know if this is supposed to represent like a large Kyber crystal or an emerald, master emerald, or something like that, but it is pretty cool, and there's some functionality that plays into it there. So that's the first kind of side buildy stuff, and then we get this you know, kind of glider or flyer or something for Rogue here, and I really like this. I didn't exactly know how everything was going to come together when I first saw this and saw the pieces I had left, but I think overall it is pretty successful, and it's not necessarily some stuff that I've seen in other Lego sets. So they do have kind of a you know, a steering yoke here or a handlebar there, so they don't stud down to anything for their feet or the back of their legs or anything like that, so they just grip on there. And a nice color for this like windshield here. Not too much going on, but some nice upside down building. And then we have kind of some heart logo things here, maybe some teeth, different stuff there. And then we have the wings, so we have like a little thrust here. Really like the color for these I call them like camera pieces here, but they're not that. And then we have ball joints or like mixel joints there, so these can be kind of positioned, can be turned up and down. And then we have just a hinge kind of elbow joint here, the plate, the hinged plate there. So there is some kind of articulation here to kind of get this in a shape that is desired, and I think it looks pretty cool. You can extend these out all the way. I kind of like it like this. It feels very bat-like, and I think that's pretty successful. I didn't know that. I thought there was going to be a way for this character to sit or something like that, and they do not. So they kind of glide like this, and I think it's pretty cool, and there's some functionality here with this and the Master Emerald. So we have one of those round jumper kind of tiles or jumper plates, the 2x2 round one here at the bottom, and that can be, if I can line it up, pressed into the giant emerald and can be flown away with. So that's pretty nice. I think that's kind of cool. It actually holds there relatively well. This crystal piece is pretty light, so that connection is good enough, so this can kind of swoop in and land there and lift it up no problem, which is a good thing. And then it can interact with some of the other things that are in this set. So then kind of the main draw for the set, or like the main thing that the set is named after, is this mech. It's called Knuckles Guardian Mech, and I just looked at one of the new Ninjago mechs, Cole's Elemental Earth mech, and so I'm kind of in the mech headspace right now, and I think this is very good as well. I think there's a lot of really good stuff here. So it does use these mech kind of joint pieces here, so we don't have bendable knees or bendable elbows, but they are at an angle, kind of default at a fixed angle there, that kind of gives the impression of that. We do have the bigger ball joints kind of at the waist here, at the hips. The feet are on a ball joint. They can't turn this way. They're one of the ball joints that has the axle going through there, so that's like that. And the legs can get reasonably far apart here, which is nice. There's no real active, like, you can't turn the waist or turn at the hips, so it can get a little bit awkward, but that's okay. And then we have the arms, which actually use these smaller, like mixel style ball joints up here instead of the bigger, kind of more robust ones, and these are pretty good too. They're actually very simple. They use that same kind of mech limb piece, and they just use a couple brackets and some clips to add kind of these shoulder pad pieces up there. Just use one of these. I don't know what these are called, but I call some version of them like tulip petal pieces, but this kind of unique piece. It curves around the side, curves around the other side. Do put like an ingot, gray ingot piece there, and that's all to the arms. But once these are kind of put down, like these are folded down, I think it has a pretty good shape and a pretty good look to it. At the end, we have some knuckles, some gloves, some hands here for the mech. So they are on a ball joint as well, so they can be turned. They can be kind of folded in here. They do have a little bit of range of motion as far as going backwards just because of this piece, but you can get those kind of in some good poses, and we can get this character into a pose that's maybe a running pose or a punching pose or something like that. So maybe this mech is sort of running and is just on one foot right here, and not too hard to balance that, but it might take a little bit of doing. So that's really interesting there. Other interesting thing, no stickers in this set, so these Nexonite shields with the little stuff up here, that's printed. Cool to see that. And then they did the kind of cockpit or the control area, the chest area, torso area, a little different than I've seen other Lego mechs from lots of different series done. So they kind of build out the seat a little more, so this does jut out the front more than other ones, and it doesn't have a ton of stuff in in front of it, like anything like that. We have these kind of bits at the rear, which remind me of like maybe Knuckles is not hair, but whatever, maybe it is hair. Their things on their head. So these kind of remind me of that, and they can sit in there and they can grab that steering thing that can be adjusted to height. I think this is it uses a nice piece here that you can kind of see just the back of it in there. It's kind of like a L plate with anti-studs. I can pop this off actually. Maybe we can see it. So this piece, so anti-studs here, and then underneath here, there's some anti-studs, and then this, modified plate or tile, however you want to call it, is on top of that piece. It's a relatively common piece, but used to good effect here, I think. And that just studs on. I like all the angles that are achieved here. I like the angles here. Using these cheese wedges up in there is a really nice touch, I think, to really kind of round that off and make it feel very finished. So that's easily missed kind of detail that I think adds to the overall look of this thing. I like that the feet match kind of the printing on Knuckles' legs here. So we kind of have the red and the yellow and then the green here. So we have red and we have some yellow. We have a little bit of green back there, a little bit of green up here, which is very good. I like to see that consistency there. And we have these exposed hinge pieces up here. And I don't know what they're specifically supposed to be, but I think it looks pretty cool. So it's almost a nice little detail there that I think works. So that's very good. And Knuckles can be in here and run and play and do all sorts of different stuff. We do have some stud shooters here, so they fire out some I think are these green or orange? I think these are green. Similar color to the crystals that are in the emerald thing there. So we can fire those off individually, and they can be aimed, relatively by leaning back or leaning down, or turning this character side to side, and that's all very good. And overall, I think this is a pretty successful mech. And I don't know if canonically in the Sonic world, mechs are a thing that exist. I just am not a scholar on Sonic lore, so I don't know. But if they are, and if this is something, I could see Lego making a Rogue mech or a Shadow mech, a Sonic mech. They've already done a Robotnik, like Eggman robot mech thing that I thought was really good. That was quite a bit bigger than this, but very well done. And this is pretty well done too, so that's very nice. I'll show the extra pieces here because you do get some, and we do get an extra of the trigger for the stud shooter, tile shooter, this red droid arm, couple translucent pieces here, extra of the crystal, extra of the heart tile there, your cheese wedges, your 1x1s, your pins, all the tiny stuff about what you would expect. This set is 276 pieces, and it retails for $35. I paid $35 for this set. One of the reasons I brought up kind of Cole's Elemental Earth Dragon or Earth Elemental Earth mech is because that was a $20 set, and it had 2 minifigures and it had a mech. Wow, this keeps popping off. And we'll get that on there again. And I enjoyed that set, and I thought the value was pretty clear. Let me actually grab that so we can compare them. So, overall size-wise, they're similar in a lot of ways. The arms of Cole's mech, the Ninjago one, used 2 of the mech limb pieces. The legs on Knuckles' mech used 2 of those. And so, and height-wise, they're close, maybe not exactly the same, but close. And as far as like pieces go and everything like that, I think technically the Knuckles set, or maybe not even technically, like just absolutely the Knuckles set has more pieces than I believe this set does. But this set retailed for $20, 2 minifigures. This set, Knuckles, the Sonic set, retails for $35. So in comparing the two of them, I think the Cole Mech from Ninjago is a better deal as far as what you get in the box. Now, this does have some iconic characters that I think people really, really wanted. I think they're represented here relatively well, so that's nice. This does have this little side build here. The Cole set didn't have a side build for the Wolf Mask Warrior or anything like that. We also get this. And you know, so there is stuff here. I still, in my mind, I don't love this at $35. It just doesn't feel like I have that here. Now, whether or not these minifigures are going to be worth $5, $10, whatever, I don't know. If they're $5 each, then is it $25 for the rest of this stuff? You know, it's close, but still a little too much, I would say. And I'll have to look at some of the other Ninjago mechs that released alongside of the other one, because I think there's a set that was either $30 or $35 that has like Kai's elemental mech and a mech for like a wolf warrior or wolf mask character or something. And then the Sora mech, I believe, is a $20 mech. And I'll have to see how I feel about this Knuckles Guardian mech when I look at those, because my gut says that this is overpriced. I think it's well designed. I think there is a lot of good stuff here. I did like building it, even though nothing was terribly revolutionary. But it's a fun set to have. I think it looks very good. I think there's a lot of play and display potential for this set. So it does almost everything right, but I think the price is a little high. You know, $30 would be better, and I think I would say that's, you know, pretty much fair if this was $30. Less than that would be great. You know, if they put this at the $27 or $28 mark, I would be very, very thrilled. But I think 30 is probably where I would feel like, okay, this is interesting. And this isn't, none of these comparisons that I do are one-to-one, because this has IP related to it, when the like Ninjago set doesn't. But then when I compare this to some Dream sets or some Marvel sets or some like the Bowser's Muscle Car set, you know, when I'm looking at things in similar price ranges and what they offer, and when I try to compare apples to oranges, and when I try to do that, then this ends up feeling overpriced to me. So that's my thoughts on that. I do like the build. I just wish it was cheaper. Hopefully people really, really like these minifigures. I'm just hoping that the Sonic line continues to do well, and we keep getting interesting sets. So and like I said, maybe they'll make more mechs, which would be interesting. And that's it for this. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Sonic the Hedgehog sets, more mechs, and then just tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. Subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Subscribes help me a lot. And if you want to support this channel, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I still have the Patreon. It's linked in the video description, linked on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. Again, that helps me a lot too, and I'm going to keep trying to get videos up for the members and patrons to view early before they're public, and then also some exclusive videos, like videos for bigger sets and brick conventions and all sorts of other type things. So I'm going to keep trying out new different stuff, and I just appreciate any and all the support, so thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.